Hi there, Virgo. Welcome to your monthly forecast. Really great to see everyone again, and I hope this month is getting off to a very good start for you. As always, I like to begin with some channeled information, but before I get into that, just a reminder, you can always use this for your sun, for your rising, and also for your moon sign if you know that. The channeled information comes to me when I select a deck of cards and then meditate on your sign. And one thing that I was getting as I tuned into you this month was a need or a sense for quiet time. Now the word that I wrote down was silence, because there's a couple of additional meanings I want to unpackage with this. But when I'm looking at this, the first part of it is simply about setting aside time each day for you to just be with you. Maybe it's, for some of us that are really busy, this could be something like taking a break during your lunch hour and just walking outside around your office and putting your phone in your pocket and just kind of decompressing, thinking through things. Because I know not everyone has time to meditate, but whatever it is, maybe it's on a bus ride to work, or if you carpool, you could be in the back sort of just relaxing a little bit, thinking about things. Otherwise, the second part of this is there is going to be a few opportunities this month where you're going to be challenged between saying something that you could regret later and keeping your thoughts to yourself. And so with this, it's knowing when it's appropriate to speak up and when it's better to just be quiet and let things unfold. The thing that comes to mind for me is my grandfather once said, the older you get, the more you realize you don't have to prove it when you're right. You just have to sort of know, okay, let's let this person, that's their truth, that's their situation, and you know when and if it's important for you to intercede, but if they don't want your help, it might be better not to speak up. But so two different meanings this month. One is to create quiet space, quiet time for yourself. The other one is to know when it's important to fight for something that you believe in, and when it's better to redirect your efforts into people, places, and things that are resonating with you and also wanting your energy and wanting your input. Because sometimes we don't pay attention to the fact that we might be in a relationship or a job situation or any sort of part of our life, or even like an apartment situation where you're having trouble getting things done, or people don't listen to you, or they're not responding. And in those cases, it's often a subtle nudge from the universe that you might not be spending your energy in the best place by continuing to engage there. Okay? So look at your life and decide, again, where to fight for things, where to be quiet, and maybe not so much even where to be quiet, but where it's time to let go and move on. So with that in mind, let's now take a look at the forecast. I'll go ahead and shuffle the cards and break down my approach for those of you that are new. I like to start off every month with some channeled information, and then I will pull a Celtic cross for each sign as well. And after I look at the Celtic cross, I expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. I also pull an additional card, a catalyst, and I'll get into that in just a moment. So let's see what this month is about for you. And before I go any deeper, I want to look at that catalyst card. To me, it's like a bookend. I look at this quite a bit, as well as the destiny card, which we'll look at later. So a big focus for this month is money, success, wealth, recognition. We have the fortune card. Some additional meanings when I look at the fortune card are the understanding that things will not always happen overnight. Some people are lucky and they have a big break, but most people work their way toward their successful goal in their life. So this card is about slow, steady, and eventual success, and working your way toward the goal, but not always thinking that it has to happen now. And what I see with this is that it's closer than you think. So if you're trying to work towards some sort of a successful outcome, it could be a raise, it could be trying to sell something, or trying to get some sort of an idea bought off or sold off to a larger audience, that you just need to keep the faith, keep working hard, and put in the time and energy. And the other thing with this is that if there's anything going on where you're feeling like you're so focused on the success that you've lost track of why you're doing it, this is reminding you that the value of the project comes from your own energy, your own attachment to the original idea of why it's exciting. When you think of if a friend is trying to convince you to go to the movies or something, or to hang out, it may not be so much the movie, it might be like you want to hang out with them or whatever, but it's how they deliver it. And so your delivery and your authenticity with what it is that you're selling, whether it's let's go out or whether it's I want you to buy this product that I've made, you have to want to buy it yourself too. So get back into the act of joy, of creation, and get behind what it is that you want, because if you don't believe it, then that's actually a deeper issue. So the value and the fortune and the success comes within, then it is recognized outside of yourself. Now let's look at the cards and see how this all comes together. At the center, there's a little bit of stress at the beginning of the month. Some of you may have been having trouble sleeping or some difficulties in really feeling comfortable with where you're at in your life. The Nine of Swords is a card of fear, mostly. It can be stress, and it can also be not knowing. And the fear of not knowing is what makes you, it can manifest itself in physical ways like this. So what I see here is, for those of you that are going through that, a general warning to not indulge in other areas where you're trying to sort of like put a salve on the wound. The Nine of Cups can sometimes be going to an extreme, eating too much, drinking too much, sleeping too much, talking too much. And so this is saying keep things in check, because it's right on top of that Nine of Swords. It's also saying don't be afraid to celebrate the positive areas of your life, and realize that one thing should not set you off in a negative direction. The Nine of Cups shows there's a lot to celebrate, there's a lot that's good. You may be someone who is very critical of themselves, and if you make one mistake, or if someone says something wrong, it could put you in a very bad place. One person, one opinion. And easier said than done, and sometimes when it's someone you really care about, that opinion can cut a lot deeper. Wherever you're at with the Nine and the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Cups, know that it's about moderation. These are the two extremes. This is ridiculously happy, this is ridiculously stressed. And what I want to get you to is somewhere in the center, where you see the positive, you see the negative, you acknowledge both, but you don't let them pull you like a rubber band, because you break when that happens. So avoid extremes. Interesting that we got two extremes at the center. I like to sometimes look straight across the middle to see what the extremes are, what's pulling you. And it feels like it's something that has to do with relationships and love, or what you love. And we talked about how what you love and what you do sometimes aren't always in complete harmony. And if that's the case, your challenge will be to be bringing that into harmony. The other thing, when we look at the Ten of Wands reversed, is are you happy with where you're at, with what you're doing? Are you impatient? Because this is usually a card that is ready for a new start. And what I see with this Fortune card is a little more patience, a little more timing is required. And so patience is trying you, relationships are trying you a bit, and you know that things are okay, but it's hard to kind of remedy those two things. When I look at deep past, we have the Six of Cups in reverse, usually showing a very deep relationship, friendship, a brother, sister, lover from the past, that's causing you some sense of discord because it's reversed. Now, the positive aspects of this card are that there are people all around you that would be willing to help you if you're willing to reach out. So whether it's your family or just reaching out to a professional at work, or talking to someone if you need to work through your fears, like talking to a psychologist or a counselor. There are people around you that want to help you, but you have to pick up the phone. You have to be the one that is the change agent. Now, as we look at your crowning card this month, your crowning card is the Seven of Cups, and this is speaking to possibilities. And the interesting thing with this is, just as the Two of Swords can feel overwhelming because you don't know what to do, this one can be overwhelming because there's so many things in front of you that you have that same feeling of where do I go? I'm not seeing that many negative areas here. They all look pretty good. You have to go with your intuition this month. That's why I was encouraging you to take a little quiet time to think, but know that even intuitives have to take a leap of faith occasionally. You have all the information that you could possibly have to make a decision, and then there's still going to be some unknowns. So don't stress out, don't get yourself into a corner and think too much about something. As we look at relationships this month, really what you want to focus on is, how do you feel in the relationship? It could be hinging on self-worth, some of the imbalance we see here, and how much is your partner putting into it? Are you both reciprocating the energy? Is one person in love with the person more than the other? So this is about finding a balance, being recognized as an equal, and if there's something that's out of sequence, out of balance, you really want to work on bringing it back together. And I do think that this is something where the two of you are going to have to climb this hill together as I look at that. It's something where you have to meet halfway. It's too much to do it all alone. You're going to be pretty busy this month, but I see you being able to manage most of it. Towards the middle of the month, it's actually going to slow down a little bit, which is good. And just a side note, whenever I see the Eight of Wands, whether it's upright or reversed like it is right now, I see it as a month of potential. So the question is more, what do you want to accomplish this month? And the more you know that, the less you're going to get distracted by everything in front of you. Delegate if you can, keep an open mind, and really try to tap into this energy as much as possible. Ideation, brainstorming, creative energy, really, really high this month. You also might be partnering with a very strong fire sign yourself. So be on the outlook for that. And there may be a love situation coming through with that as well. If I were to tie some of the challenges with a fire sign in your life, what might be going on is a block, a feeling that, you know, this other person in your life might be hiding behind work. That could also be you hiding behind work or hiding behind other responsibilities. So make sure that you're facing what's really important and not hiding behind those sort of things. If there is any trial separation or breakup this month, what I see is an Eight of Cups, which shows a chance for reconciliation later. This is also a card for those of you that aren't in relationships or don't feel that tension exists. It's a card of travel, card of opportunity. It's a great time to take a retreat, to do something just for yourself. You'll find a lot of solace in travel, and it can help you with this feeling of needing to quiet down your thoughts in your mind. This can also be a return of someone from the past, or you returning to an old place that you used to work or live. And what I'm seeing with that for some of you is a sense of celebration or a happy reunion. So I'll be on the outlook for that. Also, the end of the month is showing a much more heightened social calendar probably than the beginning. And I feel like your sense of stress and imbalance that I'm seeing here works itself out by the time we look at this. So there is a cause to either be more social, happier, or celebrate by the end of the month. And also I feel like you found a little bit of balance here that was not existing at the beginning of the month. Let's now expand the forecast, and we'll begin with your health card. Health includes mind, body, and spirit. Your health message this month is Cosmic Gateway, so it's more about mind and your spirit. Mind being open, since a gateway card is one of opening, of being able to take in new information, and also able to see past the barriers or past the blocks that someone may be putting in front of you. As far as spirit goes, this could be a very big breakthrough month for those of you that put more energy into meditation, especially since the channeled information was to spend time doing that. And the other last piece of this that I'm seeing here, and I say this a lot, it bears repeating here. It says your thoughts are magnetic and powerful, and I really do believe that is true. If you are able to really get behind whatever it is that you believe in, as I said earlier, other people are not even so much attracted to the project or to you, it's to that feeling inside of you. When we see certain celebrities, they have a magnetic energy or personality, and it's not necessarily that they're better people or that they're really talented, but it's that we want to be close to that energy. So you want to work on that energy in yourself because it will bring opportunities for you in your life. And when it comes to health, what we can see with this Cosmic Gateway is that you're going to be able to push through boundaries. Let's take a look now at wealth. Wealth really depends on where you're at in your life. When I'm reading this card, it can be about school, it can be about money, it can be about security. Let's see what the message is. We have assistance, so don't be afraid to ask for help. Very clear, very simple. Appropriately enough, this has a lot of throat chakra colors as well as heart chakra. So you want to be speaking from the heart, and you want to be seeking out a guide or some sort of an expert that is also speaking from the heart as well, or understands what you are interested in. Let's take a look now at love and see what's in store for you in relationships across the board. Your love message this month is love is all around you, and you got a dual message here saying like attracts like. I like these two messages, so don't tell the other signs. Sometimes an extra card will come out, so bonus information for you. So love is all around you, reminding you it is almost verbatim of what I said here. There's a lot of help, there's a lot of assistance if you're willing to tap into it. There's also perhaps someone who's pining after you or looking at you and wanting to reach out but might be shy, so don't be afraid to go for it. You see, there's a sense of carefree here. If you believe that you are lovable and that you deserve opportunities for happiness, success, and love, then other people are going to really resonate with that feeling. So I want you to try to get that into your heart and into your mind this month. And like attracts like, and that's why I'm harping on that a little bit, is the more you are in a place of peace, of tranquility, of gentle ease, this really is how you want to deal with relationships, then people just feel like, wow, this is the kind of person I want to be with. It's a lot of what we've been talking about earlier. So know that if love hasn't been in your life, there are people around you that are ready for the same sort of relationship, but you have to reach out and you have to feel like you want that love in your life. If you're already in a relationship, make sure that your partner's recognizing that energy in you. If they're not, it might be time to try seeking out different types of relationships. Maybe one or where a partner's more in the same frequency than you. Because the Three of Cups can be, for those of you that might be single but dating one person, this can be about wanting to see other people. It can also be for those of you that are in a long-term relationship, wondering, is this the one? If it's something like, is this the one, then it's about climbing up that hill together. There's a great Kate Bush song, I think it's called Running Up That Hill. And the interesting thing was it was written from the point of view of if she could switch places with her lover or her partner, they would understand one another better. And if he had to live as a woman and if she had to live as a man, they would understand what the challenges were together. And it doesn't matter if you date men or women or both. This is really about understanding your partner's point of view. And so think about that a little bit. Think about really empathizing and getting them to understand you too. It has to be a two-way street. All right, now let's look at your Destiny card. And the Destiny card is a trajectory showing where you're headed, and it's a chance for you to either continue to align with that path or to change. That's why it's probably my second favorite card in the deck next to the Catalyst. So we have a Cobra card, which is very powerful. It is reversed, however, and that sort of fiery energy that's coming through with the Cobra is saying, don't give away your fire. Don't feel like you are, for some reason, unable to go after what you want. And if you're feeling confident, great. Go for it. You have the energy, the power to do what you want. Snakes are actually very good when it comes to symbolism. The only thing that I would say with this is think really carefully about how, where, and if you need to yield that power. So now let's summarize everything that we just talked about, beginning with the channeled information, which is to make time to be quiet, to meditate, and also to pick and choose when and if you should voice your opinion. There are times when it makes a lot of sense. There are other times when we should just watch things unfold and redirect our energy, especially if people aren't ready or willing to engage with us. That's a sign from the universe that you might be better suited to work or exist or live in another place. So you'll be able to unpackage that based on what your situation is. The Catalyst card this month is a card of money, of worth, of success, realizing that it begins within and then it's recognized outside. As you look at the cards here this month, a general trend at the beginning of the month to sort out this rubber band that we were talking about, the two ends, going from a Nine of Cups to the Nine of Swords. The two things that are bringing you between that stress and that happiness are relationship issues and a sense of impatience or wanting to get out of a situation. And when I'm looking further into love, I see that there's a connection to the past here, a deep friendship or an old friend, and this might be the place where you are ready to kind of break away from that, because we see the Three of Cups here showing possibly dating or expanding your horizons a bit. The other thing is that one or both of you might be hiding behind your own responsibilities. Look at what you want to do this month. There's a lot of energy, particularly with the Cobra card that we saw just a moment ago, and think about where you're going to most effectively be able to focus and channel that information and that energy. As we look at health, it's about pushing through things, but also being very open-minded. That's what Cosmic Gateway is. It's also about a big paradigm shift that could happen as far as your spiritual growth. Wealth, don't be afraid to ask for help. Just make sure that they share the same emotional and logical energy and way of thinking that you do. You had a double message for love, reminding you that you're not alone, and also reminding you that like attracts like. So the way to bring in love and opportunity and more happiness in your current relationships is to work on your own happiness, because that is mirrored and also reflected by the people that you then bring in relationships. And last and most kind of optimistic here, your trajectory card is showing the next few months are going to bring a lot of opportunity for you. Cobra is a card of power. Just remember to yield that power in a responsible way. So that brings this monthly reading to a close. If you'd ever like more personalized information, I do offer one-on-one readings. And if you look at the description box just below the video, you'll see a link to go to the website, and you can check out my rates and availability there. Additionally, if you'd like to stay in touch, there are about 3 ways you can do it. On YouTube, you can click either subscribe or the notification icon. The second one will send you an email whenever I post a video, so that's a really great thing to do. You can also join my newsletter if you don't want to do anything here on YouTube, and I send that out once a week and also on the first of each month. Additionally, you can join me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter if you're more active on those social networks. Also, if you like the content here and you would like to give back, there's a couple ways you can do that. The first is to do a one-time donation on my website. You can also do a continuing donation on Patreon. Both are optional, but very much appreciated. Finally, and most importantly, I come here every month so that you guys can work on yourself. So I want to say thank you. Keep working hard. I'm so really thrilled and honored that you come here and are growing with me. And I hope that we continue to make this place a better place, because really we need more people that are enlightened, that are working on expanding their heart, their empathy, and that makes me very happy. So keep doing that. From my heart to yours, I wish you much prosperity, happiness, and continued health. And to that end, thank you guys so much for being patient as I've been getting through my recovery. I'm still not feeling 100%, but I really wanted to get these videos out for you. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.